Howdy folks, Meandering Mike in the Man Cave of Madness. This is another one of our bi-weekly channel updates. Shorter week this week in terms of 3 videos. Normally I try to get 4 videos out in a week. I've got one in the can that's being edited. There's just no way I could have got it out there in time for this week. So here's just the 3. So down below here, I did Collector's Corner, High Fantasy Game Books and RPGs. So High Fantasy was done by Jeffrey C. Dillow back in the late 70s, early 80s. Also with Adventures by Craig Fisher. So the material of High Fantasy was an RPG, but my first exposure to it was as a game book, a paragraph adventure game book in the sort of the reprint of the High Fantasy original role-playing material. I didn't even know that existed, but I encountered it as a game book. Now I'm going to quickly define here, because next video we're talking about book games. Game books to me is a adventure in a book with paragraphs that you follow the paragraphs, and whether there's just choose your own adventure, those are game books. Game books that have fighting in them, like High Fantasy, and Fighting Fantasy from Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone of Steve Jackson, the British one. So book games, which is the next one here. So I'd done previously a unboxing of tin games that come in tin, and I talked in general about different formats where games don't always come in cardboard boxes. And I had a poll on my channel, and there was things like tube games, bag games, not Ziplocs, but games in bags, not Ziploc bags, book games, and other kinds of cases other than cardboard boxes, like wood cases, plastic cases, or more tin games. And you guys chose book games. So this covers all the book games that I have, except for one that I couldn't find. And so again, these are games in books. That's how they're published. That's how they're put out. And these can have one or more different games in them. Sometimes it's multiple scenarios for the same game system. Sometimes they are distinctly different games. So take a look at that if you want to see a variety of recent game books, and ones as far back as the 1980s and such. And now books. I didn't intend this, and even the film the video I'd working on also has a book aspect to it that I didn't get finished editing. Wasn't planned, but so this is talking about my Napoleonic game and book nook. Now I'd done my storage, no wasted space in the man cave, where I installed a tall, narrow shelf system with kind of like a corner round, but it's more like rectangular, oblong. And I had shown that video, and now here I finished earthquake proofing everything, and I've loaded it up with games, and I've done some rearranging, and all that Napoleonic nook, besides games, also has the vast majority of my Napoleonic books in there, even though there's some in the main house. So if you want to see a near obsessive collection level of Napoleonic games and books, take a look at that. There, give you some inspiration on if you want to go crazy and go over the deep end in collecting a certain subject, topic, etc. That's how you can do it if you want to go totally deep into that. So trying to keep it short this week, so we had just 3 videos. There's one coming. Actually, there's a number of ones that I'm working on that I've talked about, but I'm not going to talk about it more now. So I've got a schedule in my mind. I'm working on it, but no particular commitments. So more stuff's coming. So I want y'all to take care of me. Remember to take care of your games, take care of your books, take care of your collections. I'd like to take care of you. And so for all those of you watching this segment on Dan Ben Caldy's Knowing Me Here, I'm sending back to you, Dan. Ciao, y'all.